Hey YouTube, it's Sarah, LessOfSarah. This is my 8-week post-op update. That's post-op VSG or vertical sleeve gastrectomy weight loss surgery in Mexicali, Mexico with Dr. Aceves. So it's been a really good week. I'll start with the numbers. If you haven't watched one of my videos before, my highest weight was 460 pounds. That was the end of September 2012. I lost 40 pounds pre-op, which gave me a surgery day weight of 420 pounds on November 30th, 2012. Last week I was at 378.5, and this morning I weighed it at 374. So that was a 4.5 pound loss this week. I've been really happy the last few weeks with my weight loss. Week like 3 to 5, I was only losing about 3 pounds a week, which is still good, but I was a little discouraged at that point. I know a lot of people stall week 3, 4, 5, so I did definitely slow down compared to the loss I had before in the last 3 weeks or so. But yeah, things are rolling along. I'm going to talk about a couple of things in this video. I wanted to sort of go over a typical day of eating for me. I know when I was watching videos, especially pre-op, that was something that I always wanted to know. What are you eating, however far out you are. So I'm going to go over yesterday and what I'm eating today in MyFitnessPal, just to sort of illustrate, I guess, what I've been eating and the quantities. I'm also going to talk about a whole bunch of NSVs that happened this week, which is great. And before I start talking about that, I just wanted to mention something I wanted to mention in my vitamin video, and then I totally forgot. I actually use an app on my iPad. It's also available on the iPhone to track my intake of medications, of supplements and vitamins. It's called Pillboxy. It's Pillboxie. And it's basically a medication or vitamin tracker. You can set alarms and notifications. You can do it for more than one person in your family. It'll actually, you can set exactly what your pills, vitamins look like. It's actually really cool. And it definitely helps me to sort of keep things, on schedule, because otherwise it's easy for me to forget to take vitamins and supplements. So I wanted to mention that. It's a cool app that you can download. Not sure if it's available on like Android phones and that sort of thing, but worth a try. Just do a search for Pillboxie, Pillboxie. So what have I been eating? I'm going to grab the old iPhone. I think I've mentioned before, I use MyFitnessPal. I just love it to death. I think it's a fantastic app. And I'm just going to go in and check and see what I ate yesterday. And also what I have scheduled to eat today. So I think I mentioned in a past video too that I was kind of off protein shakes. I was using Kaizen whey protein, which was something I bought at Costco. And I was mixing it with all kinds of things, but I don't know. I was kind of off them. I was pre-surgery using Premier protein shakes from Costco, and I've gone back to those. Those are the ready to drink in like a Tetra Pak. Looks kind of like a juice box shake. It actually kind of just tastes like chocolate milk. It's a really light kind of flavor. They're not that terrible. So I've gone back to drinking those. But I sort of switched things up. I used to drink my protein shake in the morning, and now I've decided to drink my protein shake in the evening. And so I've been starting off my day the last couple of days with yogurt. So yesterday it was 4 ounces of Faye Greek yogurt with half a tablespoon of banana sugar-free Jell-O pudding mix. It just thickens up the yogurt a bit. It gives it totally like the consistency of pudding, which is really cool. And then I usually put in some kind of Torani syrup and possibly a little bit of Splenda, just depending on, the flavor of the syrup and how I'm feeling that day. For lunch, I had, I guess, 1.5 ounces of pulled pork with no barbecue sauce or anything on it. And I just sprinkled about 30 grams of shredded cheese on top and warmed that up. For dinner, it was Gorton's, I think it was either a tilapia or a pollock fillet. And that was just, I think they're like, it might be 3 ounces. It's soft fish though, so I can't do 2 ounces of like meat or poultry. I can do, or I can't do more than 2 ounces, I should say. I can do maybe 3 ounces of fish, depending. I had my protein shake. I also had, as a snack at some point during the day, I think in the afternoon, 1.5 ounces of shrimp. and then just my vitamins and supplements for that day. And then for today, I had yogurt again this morning, same breakfast. Lunch, which I'm going to have after I make this video, is going to be some Oscar Mayer turkey breast, probably maybe 1.5 ounces to 2 ounces, and a Sargento Colby Jack cheese stick. Love cheese sticks. Have one, at least one every day. For dinner, it's chicken, like fajita strips, just the frozen kind that you can warm up. Again, maybe 2 ounces. And then that's going to be with peanut sauce. I sort of devised my own fake peanut sauce. And the measurements are kind of, just whatever. But basically, I use about 2 tablespoons of PB2. I put some coconut Da Vinci sugar-free syrup in there, because often that kind of peanut dipping sauce is made with coconut milk. So I put some coconut flavoring in there. I put some almond milk in there. I sometimes put a little bit of garlic, and I put some soy sauce, and then I just get it to a consistency and a flavor that makes me happy. And it's, I think, like maybe 35 calories a tablespoon, and I never really have more than a tablespoon at a time, but it just helps with getting that chicken down and giving it some flavor. So I really like doing that. And then I'll have my protein shake at some point tonight and possibly a snack. So I wanted to buy like something that felt like really indulgent. So I bought these Jello pudding, dulce de leche, no sugar added pudding cups. And the carbs in there, I think it's like 12 grams of carbs. It's a little bit high for a snack because I'm trying to keep it under 30 and closer to 20 a day. But when you have a craving, you have a craving. So I have that planned, but I may or may not eat it just depending on whether I feel like eating it. So that's what I've been eating the last couple days, and I'm going to try and do the same thing in my upcoming videos, just so you guys know the kind of stuff and the quantities that I'm eating. So NSVs. Okay, so there was actually a bunch this week, to the point that I had to actually write them down. So let me see. Okay, so do people notice my weight loss? I've actually had some people ask me that, not necessarily in the YouTube community, but just in general. So I haven't had a ton of people notice necessarily, but I also haven't been to a lot of functions. It's January, so it's not like I've seen tons of people that I haven't seen in a while or what have you. And the people that know don't necessarily comment on it because they see me all the time. But when I did the big wedding show, there was a bunch of vendors that I saw there who hadn't seen me in a while. Now they don't necessarily know me well enough to be, totally, to remember, I guess, exactly how big I was. But a lot of them said stuff like, "Oh my gosh, you look so great." I don't know if that was them being polite and not wanting to say, "Hey, have you lost weight?" or whatever, but there were numerous people who said that I look great, which was awesome. And then I've had people say stuff like, "Oh, your hair's different." I think maybe because my face has gotten smaller and the first thing they think is that I've changed my hair. I haven't really changed my hair. My hair has been the same. So that's kind of funny because I realize that they don't understand what the change is. So they just think I've got a haircut. So that's sort of amusing. That's happened a few times. And I'm going to go back to people noticing, but I'm going to go to clothes. I think I told the story about trying to buy pants and being really frustrated. And all the pants I have are pretty much falling off at this point, are way too long. So I needed to buy pants. Went into the store and decided I was going to try and buy some jeans because I didn't really have any other pants that I was interested in. Had to take in 3 different sizes into the fitting room because I had no idea what size I was or what I could wear. I think in a past video I said I was a size 32 when I started. That's really not true because honestly, even though I was wearing a 30-32 in shirts and pants, only in things that had stretch. I couldn't wear a blouse or a fitted shirt that was that size. I couldn't wear pants that were a 32 that didn't have stretch in them. I was probably more like a 34 or maybe even a 36 at my highest weight. So I went into the fitting room with a bunch of different styles in 3 different sizes, from a 28 to a 32. And, to make a long story short, I ended up buying 28s. So I bought 2 pairs of size 28 jeans and actually a 26 because one of those styles I really liked. And I thought, yeah, I don't want to go back to buy the same style and they won't have it anymore. So that was exciting. So I'm definitely going down sizes too. But the interesting thing about wearing clothes that fit is that night I went out to karaoke with my friends and I showed up and they were all like, oh my gosh, you look great. Wow. And I'm like, okay. I was wearing a new pair of jeans and a sweater that was fitted. It was like a 26-28 that I bought at Christmas time. And afterwards, the next day, these are friends that I saw. I had seen like one the week before and one 2 weeks previous. The next day, I was talking to that same friend and she said, I can't believe how much smaller you look. And she said, Margaret, who's another friend who hadn't seen me a couple of weeks, said the same thing to me on the phone. She said, oh my gosh, I can't believe how much smaller Sarah looks. And I realized it was because I was wearing clothes that actually fit instead of big, huge, baggy clothes. I wore fitted clothes and I look smaller. So that's maybe a lesson we can all learn something from. I will, for sure. The other 2 things really quickly is when my friend came over, she gave me a hug. And she was like, oh my gosh, Sarah. I was like, what? She said, my hands touch behind you when I hug you, which I know sounds crazy to most people. But I mean, I have really wide shoulders. I'm a big girl. So yeah, that was like a big deal to her. And the other thing is I was in the car with my father and he has like a Dodge Durango. I think he's had it 4 or 5 years. And they actually ended up buying a seatbelt extender because I do drive that car every once in a while. And the seatbelt did not fit in the front seat or the passenger seat at all. So yeah, sucky. But I was in the car yesterday and I just thought, why not? I'm going to give it a try without the extender, and the seatbelt fit. And I've never, in the whole time he's had the car, like I said, probably 5 years, been able to fit that seatbelt. So I'm definitely now probably the smallest I've been since before I was pregnant with my first son. So yeah, I feel like we're finally getting somewhere, so that's good. There's one other NSV that happened this week, but I think I'm going to talk about that more in another video, probably later on in the week. Leave you guys hanging. So I hope that everyone has a great week. Keep on the plan, keep the faith, keep going. We all fall down sometimes, but the community, we're all here to pick you back up just in case you have a bad one. I hope everyone does well, and I hope you have a great day.